You've been a good enough father. I want to be a good enough father.
Let's go, let's go!
Don't quit! Don't quit!
You are good, and you are mighty, and you are merciful. Praise you, Jesus. Guide me to who you want me to help. Raise up more that will call upon your name. Raise up those that love you and seek you and trust you. Lord, we need an army of believers and will stand on your word above all else. Raise up warriors, Lord, who will fight on their knees, who will worship you with their whole hearts, Lord. Lord, call us to battle, that we may proclaim you King of kings and Lord of lords. I pray these things with all my heart. Raise them up, Lord, raise them up.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
How old is he?
It's like 10 months.
10 months, and he's got Pick TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the Pick TV network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy baby.
Wow. Go Pick TV.
We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Hey everybody, Dr. David Evans here. We're here from the nation's capital once again to bring you the best on Pick TV Network, your network, the People's Investment Channel. We always welcome our international audience that's here with us. Thank you for watching with us from Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Germany, Panama, Peru, Ireland, Canada, Africa, Argentina, United Kingdom, United States, and all over the world. Pick TV Network is on. And I want to say we have a brand new interpreters through Roku. Now we are interpreted, and we have interpretation in all of these countries that we are on. We got that express news from Roku. We thank you for letting us be on 63.9 million folks all over the world through Roku, our platform that we're on all over the world. I'm happy. We're from the nation's capital, which is the White House right behind me, and the Capitol right on top of here. And we're blessed to be able to broadcast this presentation around the world. Those are chatting in from YouTube, Pick TV Network, Facebook, Pick TV Network, Instagram, Pick TV Network, LinkedIn, Pick TV Network, all over across the world. We have a topic today. We're talking about America's healthcare crisis. Folks, there's a lot of people that we are really concerned about. This is part 2 of our subject for 2022. And I'm going to get right into it with Michelle Cox, and she's going to introduce our guest today. Michelle, award-winning Michelle Cox, is on with us. Michelle, we've been talking about this, and you talked about it last year, our healthcare crisis, and how COVID-19, we have some heroes, and some of these heroes are right here in our presentations today. But you've been saying it for a whole year, don't stop wearing masks. You've been saying, get tested. Don't be afraid. You've been saying this. You've been saying it over and over and over, Michelle. You lost almost 40 people, 50 people last year.
54 people. One of my best friends from college was one of the first people to succumb to COVID-19. And he had underlying conditions. He was a transplant recipient as well as having diabetes. But the thing about it is he had worked his way back to starting to wanting to work and, just doing some gigs as far as he was driving Lyft and Uber because he didn't want his wife to have to work so hard. Well, his passenger gave him COVID and he died from his exposure to COVID-19. And this was early on before there was any vaccines. And then I grew up in small town Mississippi. COVID went through there and decimated that community. People from church, my sister was calling me literally 2 or 3 times a day. Oh, so-and-so has died. This person has died. This person has died. This person is in the hospital. And it almost got overwhelming because the death counts kept coming. And then my brother and his wife got COVID. And this is my older brother. I'm the last of 6. And called him and, they had it really bad. He could barely talk, could barely breathe. Thought they had gotten through it. Then his wife goes back in the hospital. She has not only a stroke, but a heart attack, and she dies. And she was 59 years of age, my age. And so when you're talking about these things and people saying, well, it's a hoax and this isn't serious or the vaccines don't help, there's so many of us out here that have lost someone and we can tell you different. And so it's going to take all of us working together, loving each other through this, but doing the things that we have to do. We understand some people can't get vaccinated because they're allergic to it. But the other thing you can do is wear a mask properly, not just wear a mask, not just some flimsy this over your face or something like that. We're talking about masks. These paper single-use masks are only good for 1 hour. If you're going to be out more than 1 hour, and this is what I do, I have a box in the back. Every time I go in and out of the store, I throw that one in the trash can. I get me another one. Because if we don't do what we need to do to help stem the tide, we will be like when they had chickenpox, and it was terrible. It took chickenpox literally 4.5 years to get under control. It took smallpox 5+ years to get under control. It took the Spanish flu of 1919 almost 7 years to get it under control. And over 50 million people died. We don't have to keep repeating those mistakes. We have the science, we have doctors, the health industry, and corporations that have helped to fund the research to create these vaccines to make sure that we can take care of ourselves. Now, some people are asking, well, aren't people that are vaccinating catching this? Yes, they are. But getting vaccinated doesn't mean that you don't catch it. It means that you're 90% less likely to die from it. Your cases or your severity of symptoms are less. It's just like when we talk about wearing a condom. It's 99% effective. But if the condom breaks, somebody's getting pregnant. Well, it's the same thing. We have to make sure that we're vigilant. Washing our hands, using sanitizer, limiting our exposure. Of course, nobody wants to be stuck in the house. Fortunately for me, I got a crash course in being stuck in the house. When COVID first came, I was in a wheelchair. I had broken my hip. So I had already been introduced to not being able to go anywhere. Was it difficult? Absolutely. Imagine somebody like me that's used to going where I want to. I'm pacing around in a wheelchair for 4.5 months because I can't walk. But what did I do during that time? I wrote several books. I kept my mind occupied, because the other part of this thing that we need to talk about is the mental health aspects of having to stay at home. And that's why some of our guests, we're going to talk about what's going on with what we call COVID related psychosis or mental illness, because that's what's happening. And we've got Dr. Sheila McGrew. She's a pastor from Alabama. Dr. McGrew, what do you know about COVID psychosis? And have you heard of people being depressed or even suicidal because they're battling or have COVID-19?
Well, I know, thank you so much for asking me. I know that for myself, when I contracted COVID in April of 2021, just the fact of getting the diagnosis, depression started the moment I found out I had it. And the reason why it started that moment is because I heard so much negative, and it seemed so much negative before I contracted it. And also feeling a little guilty that I had not taken the vaccine. My father was already fully vaccinated when I contracted COVID. And the first thing that came to my mind, he protected me by getting vaccinated, but did I protect him prior to me getting COVID? So after COVID, I went ahead on and got the vaccination 3 months later and was responsible to do that. But the depression came in almost immediately. And then when you're going through the sickness itself, it's like being a part of the world, but being so away from it at the same time. People even look at you differently when they find out that you are going through COVID. They look at you differently. And if they don't know you, of course, your family is going to be very loving and kind. But if someone doesn't know you and they find out you have COVID, it's almost like the bubonic plague or something like that. They don't want to be around you. And that brings on even more depression. And at one point, I remember going almost a little stir crazy. Because my hearing was muffled. I couldn't hear, I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell. And I couldn't eat. And I just didn't want to be very sociable at all. Of course, you can't be sociable, but I'm talking about not even on the phone. It comes down hard. And that's why I say to other people that ask me, what did you go through when you went through COVID? I told them I did go through depression. But even when someone is going through that depression, it's very important to reach out to them and let them know that you love them, that you're praying for them, you're thinking about them, because their minds will actually go off in a different place. And that was one of the things that I experienced. So always stay in contact with that person. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and send them something. If you can't put it on the doorstep, send it through the mail. Let them know that you're thinking about them, because you will go off in another place in your mind, because you think about, what about me? What if I die? What if this? What if that? And it will make you a little stir crazy if you're not centered by some people that love you.
And that is very, very good, because that's one of the reasons I'm going to just assume right now, and we have Monique and we have Blue and we have Pastor Bowie and Bridget, that we're all God-fearing people. I know when I get stressed from any disease, and I've been through sarcoidosis and breast cancer, I have to get on my knees. I have to thank God where I am and in that present moment, because God keeps us going through. Well, just like God keeps us going through, God helps to create all these vaccines, because without God, we don't have the mind or the mental capacity to get there. Now, Bridget, tell me some of your struggles, because I know that we talked a little bit earlier about people that have mental health issues around COVID-19. Go ahead, Bridget.
It's just so sad because I've lost multiple people that I know to suicide that had COVID. And I posed the question earlier if there was a relation with the COVID sickness and depression. Because, matter of fact, we have a family friend who's just recently contacted COVID and committed suicide. Last year, I had 2 or 3 people that contacted um, um, COVID and also committed suicide. I mean, first of all, to have that many people that close to me to commit suicide, first of all, it's just mind-boggling because it's not something that you generally expect, right? And there are people that seemingly were doing fine. We didn't know that there was something wrong. So I definitely wanted to know if there was some sort of depression. I've heard people who've had to continually deal with it. So it makes them feel less confident about their ability to work, less confident about their ability to provide and enter back into a regular life kind of a thing. And I think that may have been some of the struggles that they had. But for me, thankfully, I've been free of COVID, but both of my children have had COVID, and it's scary for as a mom to be able to go through that. My son has actually had it twice, which is scary, and he's vaccinated now, but he's had some struggles in the past, like you said, with his immune system. He has asthma, so every time he goes out, basically, I'm like, are you masking up? Where's your mask? If I see him on, where's your mask, baby? Do you have 2 of them on? I even wear a visor on top of my mask, just because I just want to be safe and I want them to be safe. But I am very interested in understanding the depression that is associated with it, because it seems that so many people are affected. And then right now, like you said, having to isolate. I know people complain about having to be home and not being out and doing things. So, how do you overcome that? What do we do to overcome it?
Well, first things first. This is something that works for me. First thing I do is I pray and meditate, and I'm grateful where I'm at. And I've learned to get centered in my being. And when I say centered, when I go to pray, I'm making sure that God knows that I'm grateful where I am. The other thing is, this is a time when there's so much information, and I'm not talking about just information on COVID. I'm talking about information to be had to heal your mind, because we're in the process of people being isolated, and they haven't been isolated before. And isolation can take a toll on your mental health. So you should be reading new books. You should be learning things. Take a small online course. All these things to help keep your mind fueled. If you don't have COVID and you're able to exercise, start exercising indoors. You can walk while you watch the TV. I've got a little scoop here I do because, I'm rehabilitating the hip. But there are little exercises that you can do in the home. Then start talking to people. They give all kind of social apps where you can talk to people. Talking to people helps alleviate some of the isolation. These are things that you can do. Now, when I was in the wheelchair and I couldn't go anywhere, I wrote 5 new children's books. So I didn't let my mind travel down the dark path. These are just some of the things you can do. Now, we got Sister Blue down here. She is a poetess. Sister Blue, her whole family contracted COVID. What did you do to kind of keep your mind going as you were healing from the disease? Sister Blue?
Well, thank you for asking me. And those were such wonderful tips that you're giving. That's gems that we all need to hear. Well, in the beginning, like many of the people that had it have shared, you can't really do much because you're so tired and you're just trying to breathe. But as you move through it, there's that fear. There's that fear that is like, am I going to go on a ventilator? Or am I going to make it? Is my family going to make it? But and it is definitely, as you said, meditation and prayer. Because I wasn't really a big meditation person. I really wasn't. And with my students in my middle school and high school, we kind of played meditating because, they've been in a virtual world for so long. It was like they were so tired of it. And then they didn't want to turn the cameras on. And I would say, get up, we're going to meditate. We're going to meditate. We're going to satiate. We're going to elevate. And we're going to ultimately do something in this world where we can legislate, just making a rhyme. And so to get back to me, I did what you did. I wrote the author too, but I'm also a mental and brain health activist because my son has what they call schizoaffective. And so I've written several books about, I call it Mosaic of Madness and things. Michelle, I wrote hundreds of poems because it's a way to get the feeling out. And I'm not trying to brag about what I do, but I'm a librarian. So I qualified, I took the certification to become a bibliotherapist. Now, what is that, you may ask? I work with a therapist to prescribe books, to prescribe music, to prescribe art, because in this isolation, people want to know, well, why do I feel this way? And I don't really want to live, and and this and that. So not necessarily factual books, Michelle and everybody, but sometimes fiction. Sometimes fiction, because some of the students they began to hear voices. I mean, it's just been a rough thing. Like you were saying, Bridget, and I feel for you, losses to suicide. I had kids to read Writing on the Wall. And that was about a little guy who, don't get me started with my librarian hat, who heard voices, and he had so much voices that he wrote on the wall in the bathroom. So what I'm getting to, all of those tips that you gave, I didn't do all of them, but I did some of them. The prayer and meditation, the reading, the writing. D Nice on Instagram. I danced. I just, if I could breathe, I danced, and it was good, and it was not good, but it was a way out of the dark hole of time that we find ourselves in during this isolation period. And with that, thank you for asking. I yield my humble mic back to you, Michelle. That so happy that you're here and including us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Queen Blue. Pastor Jerome Bowie, what did you do and how did you manage, because you've had COVID, how did you manage the isolation? Tell us your story, please.
Well, for me, when I contracted it, I found out at the same time that my wife had it, my son had it, my grandson had it, and my cousin had it. And I was the only one that actually went through the whole phase of not being able to hear, not being able to eat, going through the headaches and going through the diarrhea. No, I went through all the symptoms where my breathing, because prior to me getting it, I had just had a pacemaker put in because I had heart problems. So everybody was in heavy fear about me. Like, wow, he got it. And so everybody just was in disarray, my whole family, because I'm the pastor of the family. So, but what I did, like you said, I did a lot of writing. I wrote a lot of sermons. I just meditated and prayed. And all our faith was strong through that. We just trusted God. I believe this, when it's my time, it's my time. So I did a lot of writing. I wrote a lot of sermons. But I did go to the hospital because, and the thing about it is, it's crazy because I had a pacemaker put in prior to me getting COVID. I went to the hospital. I actually called Evans, went up to the ambulance. They kept me for 3 days, but I never was on oxygen. Never put me on oxygen. Never had to go on the ventilator. None of that. Even with the diabetes or the high blood pressure and heart condition, I never had to get on oxygen at all. They never put me. Every time they took me, they say, we're not putting you on oxygen because your oxygen level is good. So, so I went to the hospital, just stayed for 3 days. People from IVs, came back home. And so, like you say, by the time through it all, I just prayed and I kept myself busy, reading, like you said, getting into reading and writing. Writing was medicine for me. Writing was medicine for me. But to pick it back on, like earlier in the show, one thing I have to say, and I love the fact that you brought up about the COVID and how we don't take it seriously. And I believe that the world is sending a false message because the world don't take it seriously. Because for the love of money is the root of all evil. We know this. We don't talk about that because we still have basketball games, football games. And let me say this. There's no way you can social distance at a football game. There's no way you can social distance at a basketball game. A football game holds over 80,000 people. Basketball games over 20 to 30,000 people. There's no way you're going to social distance because they're selling out. They're not selling some amount of tickets. And if there was, there still really no way. Like you saying, if you cough, how far it goes, doctor, thank you for such education to us because there's no way you can social distance. They know that. So it's like you're playing with people's lives and we playing with our own lives. And I went to one of the games. I thought about that. I said, you know what? Let me get out of here because I'm about to kill myself or somebody else. Mask or no mask. We don't talk about that. You know what I mean? We go to games, we go to a lot of things because we want to do it. And they don't care about you, they just care about the money. We don't talk about that, but that's real. That is real. So we got to look out for each other. And if we don't, we're gonna be here 4 years later talking about the same thing. Because nobody won't listen, nobody won't wear the right mask, nobody won't social distance, and we worrying about the money and the thing about it is an economy, and it's actually we're pushing ourselves in a deeper hole because we want to be out there, we want to be in the famous restaurants, want to be at the sports events, and the sports just want you to be there because they want the money. But and so I just read and I wrote a lot of stuff, and I wrote a lot of sermons. That's what helped me and my family, and we all came through it, and I'm going with some side effects. I lost my hearing in my left ear. I can't hear that well in my left ear. The doctor said they can't figure out what it is. They took x-rays. They said that it wasn't no tumor, nothing like that. So I'm thinking now, it could be anything. But let's say I do have both. I did take the shots when they came out. I took the booster. I'm going to protect myself because I want to protect myself from getting to my family and so on. So I want to put myself in the best situation for my kids, my grandkids, and everybody else. And I do understand you were saying also, Michelle, with this variant, a lot of kids catching it. I have 3 grandkids that didn't have it, and they caught it with this variant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Pastor Bowie, because this variant is highly contagious. Now it's less severe, but the more kids are getting, more younger people are getting, especially those that are unvaccinated. Now we're going to take a commercial break. And we'll be back after these commercials to finish up this part of the broadcast. You guys stay tuned, and thank you for joining us on the PIC TV network.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
Say 10 months.
10 months, and he's got Pick TV at 10 months old. Look at that. That's our brand new member of the Pick TV network, folks. He is so happy.
He is a good happy day.
Wow. Go Pick TV.
Happy holiday season, everyone. It's Maya here, and I'd like to send a big congratulations to David Evans and the Pick TV network for showing up with 60 positive channels on Roku. Everyone watching and listening, let's help David and Pick TV continue to grow by clicking and playing. www.thepicktvnetwork.com. Check it out. Pick TV is the place to be. Once again, happy holidays from Maya.
Hey, hello, and happy holidays to everyone. Hey, I want to encourage you to watch and support the new Pick TV network. It's a military channel on Roku. All you have to do is click and play www.thepicktv network. And by the way, great job to David Evans, the president. Hey, man, I encourage you, go do it now. And with that, time's yours.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, it's Kid from Kid and Play. Hey, everybody, this is your man, the KID, and this is big. I want everyone to download the Pick TV, P-I-C, Pick TV network on your Roku search bar, okay? My brother David Evans is growing Pick TV fans, and I want us to help my brother reach millions of followers. Millions. Click and play www.thepickttvnetwork.com. That's www.thepickttvnetwork.com. Come on now. Expand your mind. Expand your life. Huh? Pick TV Network. KID. Come on. Let your mind have a house party. Let go. Think about it. Think about it. You better think about it. Check the PickTVNetwork.com. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you at the top.
This is B-Mitch from the Washington football team. Congratulations to David Evans and the Pick TV Network for showing positive TV programs on Roku with 60 channels. Let's help my brother David Evans and the Pick TV Network continue to grow. Go to www.picktvnetwork.com. That's www.picnetwork.com.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the Fifth Flow. Yo, check it out. I want everybody to check out my main man, David Evans, and the Pick TV Network. It's all that. Check it out. Pick TV got like about 60 free channels on Roku. Pick TV gonna soon be celebrating 1 million viewers. And y'all welcome to party with us, because we be checking it out and it's all free. 60 free channels. You ain't got to worry about that cable. So y'all check them out on www.thepicktvrnetwork.com and check it out. I might invite y'all over to the Fifth Floor and have a whole lot of serb sandwiches with you. So it's Pick TV on Roku. I got Roku. I got Pick TV. It's all that. Peace.
Hey, what's up? It's Dexter McCluster here, former running back, here to congratulate David Evans and the Pick TV Network for showing positive TV programs on Roku. I almost ran out of breath, but I had to get it out, man, because that's good news, man. Over 60 free channels. Let's support David, man. David Evans and the Pick TV, and let's make them reach over, or help them reach over 1 million viewers, man. We can do it. We can do it. All you have to do is go on, click and play, man. www.thepicktvrnetwork.com. That is www.thepicktvrnetwork.com. And you heard it from Dexter McCluster, man. Let's get it. We're going to get to that million, man. If we don't, I'm coming for you.
Bro Timmy, man, I'm popping with good vibes because the PIC TV Network is on Roku with free channels. I want everybody to help my bro David Evans and PIC get it. Love. Y'all, it's your boy Ro Timmy, man. I'm popping with good vibes because the PIC TV Network is on Roku with free channels. I want everybody to help my bro David Evans and PIC get it. Love.
What's up, David Evans? This is Howard Hewitt. Check it out. I'm feeling good vibes. That's right. So check it out on the Pick TV Network on Roku with 60 free channels. What's up, David Evans? This is Howard Hewitt. Check it out. I'm feeling good vibes. That's right. So check it out on the Pick TV Network on Roku with 60 free channels. Click and play www.thepicktvrnetwork.com. Congratulations. I want to thank you, God, for giving me one more chance to raise my voice and to sing your praise. God bless you. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Everything's not what it seems. There's a stronger force behind the scenes. He's in the lives every day. He's right there when we call.
Hey, my name is Sean Patrick Thomas, and I just want to let you know that the Pick TV Network is on Roku, and they're hosting a monthly TV virtual book fair with book authors and readers from all around the world. For dates and times, call 215-609-5255 or go to www.thepicktvrnetwork.com. My brother David Evans is the president. David, great job, man.
We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Good evening. Welcome back to the PIC TV Network. We want to take this time to thank all of our managers, Bridget, Dr. Sheila, our guest, Monique, Pastor Bowie, everybody that came on to talk about COVID-19 and the effects of mental health issues. We're going to always have other presentations. We'll see you Tuesday back here on the PIC TV Network. From Dr. Evans, I'm Michelle Cox in Atlanta and Patty in New York. We thank you for joining us this evening. And everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again real soon on the PIC TV Network. Good night.